students, and welcome back to our class. We are going to be continuing with the story that we had started in the previous class, which was Foolish Friends, written by the very famous Indian author, Munshi Premchand. If you are not aware of it, Munshi Premchand is predominantly a Hindi language writer, and the story is, of course, translated into English. And I told you about the title. It's not really about friends, foolish friends. It's about siblings and a foolish act of theirs. Okay. Premchand, as most of you would have already heard of this name, is a very celebrated Indian author. And in this story, it's a short story. We're going to see what does he tell us about these two siblings. So far we've seen that the names of the two siblings is Keshav and Shama. Keshav is the elder brother and Shama is the younger sister. Although Keshav is elder to Shama, he's not too old himself, and the story starts with a nest. There is a nest of a sparrow that they encounter in their compound wall, or inside on a tree. The tree is inside their compound wall, and we are told that this is the first time they've seen this nest, and they are excited about what's in the nest. They are too young and they're not too tall, so they can't see the nest as such. But when I'm talking about cannot see the nest, they cannot see into the nest. They can see the nest from the outside, but the contents of it, how many eggs are there, what does it look like from the inside, they have no idea about it. So they keep asking questions to each other because we are told that their parents do not have time for them. The father's busy with either reading the newspaper or in the office, and the mother is a homemaker, but she's busy with the household chores. So the children are left alone most of the time, and they've got nothing to do. And this nest in their this nest in their house or in their home is the biggest source of excitement and curiosity for them, right? So we are told how they are upset about the sparrow not being able to provide food to the chicks of the nest, or the sparrow finding it difficult to get food for the chicks, and they come up with different solutions, very ingenious solutions to the problem. They think of putting a bowl of rice and water inside the nest so that the sparrow does not have to go too far and search for food for herself and for the chicks. Okay. Also, the chicks are not yet born. They're just eggs at the moment, at the start of the story. And yes, so besides the food and the water, they also think of providing shade to the nest because of the sun. So they take an old paper basket, a broken one. They manage to repair it a little bit, and with the help of a twig, a stick, they manage to hoist that basket over the nest. Okay. Now we had stopped at this point where we were talking about it is afternoon time and the mother is asleep. So that is the time they decide to execute their plan of actually putting the food and water as well as that basket over the nest. And we are told that they try to reach the nest, but Keshav, who climbs onto a chair, he cannot reach the nest. He's too short for it. So they take a table, they drag a table, then they put the chair onto the table, and then Keshav stands on it and he asks his little sister to hold the chair firmly. So we'll take it from here. Keshav would shout, "Hold it firmly or I will give you a good beating when I come down." And we had seen how this is very common. Most of you must have done this sometime or the other in your life. And you know that the person holding the chair should be very attentive because the person who has stood on top of the chair, it's a little tricky for him or her. And if the person holding the chair is not careful, then the chair can shake, especially if it's kept on top of a table, it can shake and the person standing on the chair can fall down. So holding it strong, holding the chair strong is very important. So Shama is given the responsibility, and she's very small and she's definitely not as strong, but she still does it. She holds the chair for her brother. So Shama would grab the stool firmly every time the brother would shout at her. Okay, but again her attention would roam to the nest and her hold on the stool would loosen. Okay, so I'm sorry, it's not a chair, it's a stool, so it's even more dangerous, right? But yes, so she's so interested and curious about what is inside the nest and what the eggs look like and how many eggs are there and everything, that she forgets that she's supposed to hold the chair and her grip loosens. Okay. As soon as Keshav reached the nest, the sparrow flew away. So the first thing that happens is the sparrow flies away because the bird cannot bear human interference. Okay, so it's scared, so the sparrow flies away. And they see that 3 eggs lay on a bed of straws. So bed of straws, we're talking about the nest itself. Inside the nest, there were 3 eggs. So that is what they come to know as soon as they climb onto the stool. How many chicks are there? Asked Shama from below. Only 3 eggs. So she is again small and innocent, and she thinks that there are chicks there. But as we already know, the chicks are not yet born. They're still eggs, and only the sparrow mother is around, right? So we are told that then she says, "Please show them to me, Bhaiya," entreated Shama. So she wants to see the egg. So she wants Kesho to hold the egg and show it to her. Okay. So she's entreated is she pleaded her brother. "I want to see how big they are." "Just a minute," replied Kesho. "First, bring a piece of cloth. The eggs are lying on straw. Let me put a piece of cloth under them." Okay, so all the other arrangements are done, but Keshav suddenly comes up with a new idea. He says, "You know what? They're not very comfortable with all the straw here. Let us provide them some warmth and make it very cozy inside the nest. So get me a piece of cloth because I can put the piece of cloth under the eggs so that the eggs can rest nicely and comfortably on that piece of cloth. Okay, instead of just resting on the straw, which can be a little pokey, right?" So he tells Shama, "Leave the stool and go get the cloth." Now this was not initially decided. This is a last minute decision. We are told Shama ran in and brought a piece from a torn sari. Okay, so because the mother's asleep, she goes in and she gets this cloth. Kesho made it into a pad and put it under the egg. So he folds it nicely into a neat pad. It's thick enough, like a nice warm blanket, and then he puts the eggs on top of it, the 3 eggs that are there. Shama entreated again for a look at the eggs, but Kesho said, "Give me the basket first. Let me provide the shade." So they are setting up the other requirements as well. So the basket, as they planned, they decide to put it on top of the nest and support it with the help of a stick so that it doesn't fully cover the nest. Okay. Sharma handed him the basket and shouted impatiently, "Now you get down. I want to come up and see the eggs." Unmindful of Sharma's shouting, Kesho rested the basket on the nest and asked her to bring the bowl of water and rice. All the arrangements complete, he came down. Okay, so now understand that the sister, the younger sister, is very curious as well. In fact, a lot more curious than Kesho himself. She wanted to know right from the start what is inside the nest and how many eggs are there, what does it look like, and she was just full of energy and excitement. And Kesho pretended like he was going to show her the inner part of the nest. And now we are told that all this while she's asking him, while she's standing down, she's asking him, "Bhaiya, please show me the nest, lift me up, take me there and help me look inside the nest." He just tells her, "First you go and get this, then you go and get this. But he doesn't tell her that he's not going to let her on top of the stool. Okay, so very manipulative of him. Yeah, so he makes her do all the work while he stands up there, all the running around she has done. Okay, and now when it's actually time for her to see, because all the arrangements are complete, so she's free enough to climb up and see into the nest. He tells her, he says, yeah, so we are told Shama asked him to prop her up so that she may climb onto the table. So she's asking him to help her. Prop her is to support her or help her as she climbs up the table. Keshu refused. "You will fall down," he said, "and I will be the one who will get a hiding from mother." So, typical big brother. He says, "You are very small, you're delicate, you don't know the technique, you will not be able to climb up, you will fall down. And if anything happens to you, I will get the punishment." Somehow in India, we have few families which run by this system where the elder sibling is supposed to look out for the younger ones, and if anything happens to the younger ones, it's the elder sibling that gets the punishment or the scolding. Okay. I don't know whether it still happens, but I used to have friends who would talk about a situation like that. So the younger ones would always be scot-free. They would enjoy themselves, but the elder one had to be a lot more cautious, a lot more careful, and actually guide the younger one to safer decisions. Okay, so in this case, it seems like that. So Kesha says, you know what, our mother will shout at me. She will not shout at you if you fall down and you hurt yourself. So I'm not letting you. As your elder brother, it is my responsibility to keep you safe and to keep us out of trouble. So I'm not letting you on top here. So he says, no, you cannot go. The eggs are lying very comfortably. Wait till the chicks come out. We will keep them as pets. That's the only thing he tells her. Everything is fine. You don't need to climb up there. You will only invite trouble. So just wait till the chicks are born, and then we'll keep the chicks as pets. That's the plan. Now we are told that while they're doing this and while they're arguing amongst themselves, the sparrow was circling around agitated. Agitated is somehow very upset or very angry with what is going on, and it's not clear to us, at least it's not clear to them, why the sparrow is so upset. Okay, so we are told it came again and again to the nest but did not stay. The children thought that they were frightening her. Kesha removed the stool and put it back in its place. So the bird came next to the nest. It kept circling around the nest, but it did not, stay in the nest. It even came to the nest, but not for too long. And they found the behavior a little odd. Okay, so they thought maybe we are frightening her. Maybe she does not want humans around, and she's scared of us. So maybe that's the reason why the bird is not staying, because why else will the mother sparrow not stay with her own eggs? Okay, so we are told Kesha removed the stool and put it back in its place. So he says, let's not scare the mother away. She needs to come back to her nest, and we have made it nice and comfortable for her only. We were thinking about her. Okay, so she doesn't need to leave the nest at all, because we provided the food, the water, as well as the nice cloth for them all to rest comfortably in the nest. So he says, let's not disturb them, let them be together. So the table was also removed and the stool is also removed. Now we are told that Shama had started crying and was threatening to report the matter to the mother. Why? She started crying because she feels that her brother has cheated her. Her brother had promised her that he's going to show her the nest. At least that is what she understood that this whole mission is all about. Both of them get to see the nest. So that's the reason why she goes around and does all the work. She does all the running around. And now when she finished all the work and she helped her brother with everything, her brother does not let her look inside the nest. So she says, it's not fair. I've done everything. I've helped you around with everything. And why is it that only you get to see into the nest? Even I was curious. Even I'm interested in knowing what is inside the nest. Okay, so she says, best thing, and this always happens when we're not happy with our sibling, we'll keep threatening them. We'll say things like, yeah, I'll tell your name to our mother. I'll tell her you did this, and I'll tell her you did that. So she does the same thing. She says, I'm going to tell mother about this, that you cheated me. This is not fair. Keshu was promising her a good beating if she did. So Keshu, being the elder and the more bossy sibling, he says, yeah, if you tell our mother about this, I'm going to hit you. And of course, we all know that he's capable of it, because that's how elder siblings are, right? So then we are told the argument was interrupted by the mother, who shouted. So they were so loud that the mother gets up, because we are told initially that the mother was sleeping. That's why they decided to go out on this mission. So now that there is this commotion, both of them are arguing amongst themselves. With a noise, the mother gets up from inside the room and she says, what are you doing outside? Who opened the door? Keshu had opened the door, but Shama did not tell this to the mother. Now Shama, of course, has this chance to tell on her brother, to tell the mother, this is what Keshu did, and he cheated me and he did not allow me to climb on the stool. But what does she do? Will she go and tell her mother what they are up to? Because if she tells her mother what they are up to, then even she will be caught, because both of them together were interfering with the nest. Okay, and of course the mother is not going to support them in something like that. So when she says, what are you two doing outside? Who opened the door? definitely Keshu had opened the door because he's the elder one and he led the way. But Shama did not tell this to the mother. She somehow decides not to tell this to the mother. Keshu was afraid that she might to take her revenge. So just a few minutes before that, she was telling him and she was threatening him that she will tell the mother about everything that he had done. Okay, but now when she had a very good chance to actually tell the mother, she doesn't say a word. Okay, so we are told one does not know why she didn't. So we can't understand why she didn't tell the mother. It could be because she loved her brother and she was trying to protect her brother, or because of the mere fact that she was also a partner in the conspiracy. So it could also be that she is very smart and she knows that if she reveals the truth, she will also be caught. But if we are not sure why she refuses to tell on her brother when she had a very good chance. Anyway, we are told the mother reprimanded both the children and took them inside. Soon, both of them were fast asleep. So it's afternoon time. So the mother scolds them, reprimanded them, and she scolded them. And she says, "You should be inside, not out in the hot sun. Please come inside." And she puts them back to sleep. Okay, they're small children. Then we're told at about 4 o'clock, Shama woke up and found the door ajar. Ajar means it was open. Now it's evening time. She quickly got up and went outside towards the nest. So the first thing and the only thing that she's interested in is the nest. So first thing she goes out to see the nest. The basket was nowhere to be seen. Now, very surprisingly and shockingly even, the basket was nowhere there. And just maybe a few minutes back or maybe an hour back, they had made everything nice and comfortable for the birds. So the nest was very much there. What could have happened in the short while that they were sleeping? Okay, so the basket was nowhere to be seen. Sorry, it was not the nest, the basket. Okay, the paper basket which was on top, that was nowhere to be seen. So it was removed. Okay, but who went up there and removed it? That is the question. She chanced to look at the floor and ran back shouting, "Bhaiya, the eggs are lying broken on the floor. The chicks have flown away." So very innocent Shama, she looks at the ground and she sees that there are shells. The egg shells are on the floor. Okay, and she thinks that the birds have the eggs have hatched and the birds have flown away. Okay, obviously that is not possible because birds don't start flying immediately after they're born, right? So there's definitely something more to this mystery. But anyway, so the chicks have flown away is her understanding or interpretation of the situation. Keshav got up with a start and ran outside. Okay, so he's also surprised. What happened? Where did the chicks go? Okay, and how did the eggs break? That is what he's wondering. So he went outside and the eggs were lying broken and so was the bowl of water. So the basket, that waste paper basket that they put over the nest, that was not to be seen at all. We don't know where it was, but the eggs were very much on the floor like Shama had reported. The shells were there and the bowl of water also which they had put inside the nest, even that was on the floor. Now Keshav stared at them baffled. Now baffled means he was confused and also shocked at the same time. He's wondering, how did this happen? How did it reach down? And who threw it down? Because the bird is not strong enough to lift that bowl and throw it down. Okay, so what could have happened? Shama asked, "Have the chicks flown away, Bhaiya?" So Shama thinks they've flown away. She's the sister, so she thinks that the shells are on the floor because the chicks were born and they flew away. So Keshu replied sadly, "There will be no chicks now. The eggs have been broken." So the eggs have been broken means they did not break on their own. They were broken by someone. Okay, and therefore those chicks before they were born, they have been killed. That is what he's trying to say. And he understood it. Although he's young, he understood that the eggs have deliberately been broken and we have lost 3 lives. That white liquid you see would have become chicks if they had not got broken before time. Okay, and why he says that is because he can see everyone has seen the insides of an egg. Of course, this is a sparrow's egg, but there is still a white liquid there, and he can see that that would have been the chick, but now it is all on the floor. So somebody has broken them. So the question is, who has done this? It's a very cruel thing to have been done to the chicks. Okay. So Shama looked at him surprised and confused, unable to fathom the meaning of all of this. Shama is completely lost. She cannot understand who or what has happened, and why would someone do this? Why would someone kill these innocent chicks before they are even born? Okay, why would someone deliberately break those eggs? Okay, so fathom, of course, is to understand. She is unable to understand the meaning of all this. So the mother shouted from behind, "What are you doing there in the sun?" Shama said, "The sparrow's eggs have been broken. There will be no chicks now." So Shama this time does not keep her mouth shut. She goes and tells her mother, "This is what has happened. The sparrow's eggs that were there, they have been broken. And now we are not going to have chicks. That means we are not going to even have pets. That was the plan." So the mother looked at the eggs and said angrily, "You children must have meddled with them." Shama at once jumped to the conclusion that Keshu must have not put them back carefully in the nest. Now, the mother is very angry and upset with her children because she says, "You children have meddled with the eggs." Meddled with means interfered with the eggs. But the question is, why is she angry about it? Shouldn't she be happy that her children tried to save the eggs and tried to comfort the eggs and or comfort the sparrow? But somehow she's upset. So when she says, she's angry and she shouts at them, "You try to interfere with the eggs," that's when Shama jumps to the occasion and she says, "It is Keshu's fault." Why? Because Keshu went up to the nest and he did not put the cloth carefully, or he did not put the eggs carefully back into the nest. So whatever has happened is Keshu's fault. That is what she's trying to say. There was therefore to be no pity for him now. She was determined that he must be punished for his carelessness. "Keshu meddled with their mother," she said. The mother asked Keshu how he got there, and the whole story was told. The mother looked reprovingly at Keshu and said, "Don't you know that if the eggs are touched, the sparrows do not keep them any longer? What a bad boy you are! You have taken 3 lives." Keshu was cursing himself and spoke with tears in his eyes. Now, this is the twist in the story. I don't know how many of you are aware of the it's actually a myth, by the way. The story revolves around a myth, but of course in the story it is a reality, it's a fact. Premchand, I don't know, maybe in a time like that they believed this, and many people still believe this, that if you touch the eggs of a bird, the bird will not keep those eggs, she will destroy it, because she gets the scent of the human interference, the smell of human beings around the eggs, and she feels threatened, and therefore she destroys the eggs. But if you look up that bit, you will find most sites, some trusted sites and scientific sites telling you that this is actually a myth. Okay, so it's essentially a myth, but one that no doubt started to help prevent people from disturbing wildlife. So in a way it has helped a lot of birds, because people don't interfere with birds because they really believe that if you interfere with birds or their eggs, then those birds will destroy their eggs. Okay, but remember, at the end of the day, it's not true. It's not really the case. But here, of course, the mother tells them that because you interfered with the eggs, therefore the sparrow destroyed the eggs, because she could not bear the human interference. Okay, of course, the story has not really taken place. Premchand is simply making it up. But yes, today we know that this is not really the case. It is not really fact. It's just a myth. Fine. Anyway, so she says, "It's because you interfered with the egg. That is why the sparrow herself destroyed her own eggs. She killed her own chicks. Okay, more specifically her unborn chicks." And Keshu was so upset because he was not aware of that. He was not aware that you're not supposed to interfere with birds' eggs. Okay, so he says, "But I only try to make them comfortable by putting them on a pad of cloth." So he says, the only reason I touched those eggs is because I wanted to make them comfortable, and I had to lift those eggs in order to put that pad of cloth under them and to make them nice and warm and cozy. Okay, so, and of course he didn't do it on purpose. If he knew that he's not supposed to touch the eggs, he would not have touched it. Okay, so his innocence here is also a display that as children they are so pure, they are only trying to help, they are not trying to destroy, they're just trying to nurture and protect. Okay, So when he says this, his mother cannot control herself. So we are told the mother could not suppress a smile and hugged him. So the mother is, you know, she melts basically. Her anger is out of the window, and she realizes that her children are really innocent, and all they try to do was help the birds. They did not intend to kill the birds or to affect them in any negative way. Okay, so she hugs Keshav. So we are told for days Keshav was sorrowful over his folly, his mistake, and often cried when he remembered the incident. The sparrow never appeared in the house again. Okay, so according to the story, of course, Keshav is really upset because he has taken 3 lives. 3 chicks have died because of his foolishness, and as a result of that, the sparrow never visits the house again. So she does not lay more eggs. She does not trust the territory. That is what it means, and that is how that adventure stops right there. Okay, with the birds being killed. So this is the story of. Foolish Friends, written by Premchand. As you can see, it revolves around this myth that if you touch the eggs of a bird, the bird will destroy those eggs because she can smell the human interference and she feels threatened by the entire episode. Like I already told you, this is a myth. Okay, it's not the truth. And the story also is about siblings and how they're very innocent. It's about a brother and a sister and the kind of relationship that they share. So Keshav is the more dominant one among the two of them because he's the elder one. And at the same time, he's also the more protective one. He's taking care of his sister and he tries to be the adult. Why does he have to try to be the adult is because both of them are usually left alone because their parents have no time for them. It's interesting to think that if they had taken their parents into confidence or if their parents had time for them, then this whole incident would have been avoided. It's only because they're all by themselves and they're young and naive and innocent and uninformed that they do these foolish things. So it's also trying to tell you that children are innocent and they need guidance. They're pure, like Keshav and Shama are. All they've tried to do is help the bird and reduce its distress. Okay, but they end up doing something really dangerous because they don't have any parental guidance around them. So things would have been different if they had to ask the mother, because obviously the mother in the story is aware that you're not supposed to interfere with birds' eggs. Okay, but yes, the neglect of the parents is also what is highlighted in the story. Okay, and of course the relationship between the siblings and how it's protective at the same time. There is one sibling who is a little more dominating than the other. Also, Keshav stands, or rather he takes the place of his parents. He is always the one trying to answer the questions or trying to provide solutions to the doubts that they have, or trying to protect. He's always taking the role of the adult because he's the elder one. And Shama, of course, she dotes on her brother. She loves him, but at the same time she has her childishness. There are she also, she really cares for the birds a lot more than Keshav, and that's the only time she believes that her brother needs to be punished, because she believes that it's because of her brother that the birds have, or rather the chicks have been killed. So other than that, she's a very supportive sister, very loving sister, and she listens to everything that her brother says, and she has no option. So she really thinks that her brother is really smart, and that he knows what he is doing. But it's not necessarily the case with Keshav. Okay, so a simple story, but very normal also, very Indian, but it leaves us with something to think about, especially about parental neglect, also about relationships between siblings, and of course this myth, this very interesting myth about human interference and birds' eggs. Okay, that's it for today's class. Thank you.